Mr. Arif Habib, he needs no introduction, but for those who don't know, he's a distinguished figure in Pakistan's business landscape, known for his substantial contributions to various industries, including finance, real estate, and manufacturing. His influence has been instrumental in the country's economic development. Thank you, Arif Saab. Asif Peer, he is the CEO at Systems Limited, a globally recognized technology and business process outsourcing company based there. Ladies and gentlemen, Arif Habib and Asif Peer. I would like to invite you guys on stage. Saab, we're going to begin with you. Since you've been deeply involved in Pakistan's capital markets, and you've played a pivotal role in shaping policy and ensuring the growth and stability of the country's financial markets, how would you describe the current economic conditions in Pakistan, and what do you see as the key challenges and opportunities?
Yes. Before I talk about economy,
Yeah.
I would like to thank Open Silicon Valley for inviting me here to in fact interact with this very, very important audience here. When I say that they are the very important audience, because they are part of the diasporas all over the world, Pakistani diasporas all over the world, who in fact their annual income is over $70 billion. And out of that, half of that they send to Pakistan through banking channel and through non-banking channel. And particularly this group of people, the Pakistan look at them for in fact enhancing the IT exports from Pakistan. Already, Pakistan is in fact exporting more than $5 billion of IT, and Pakistan in fact expects and hope that this amount would substantially be increased, and I think this group of people would be the instrumental into this. So there is a lot of hope in that. The Pakistan, you see that during the last few years, all over the world has experienced a very challenging and difficult economic situation. Starting from COVID, and then we have the Ukraine and Russian war. So in COVID, the Pakistan in fact handled COVID well, and soon after that, Pakistan saw a V-type recovery in its economy, and in the following years, we saw a GDP growth rate of over 6% in financial year 21 and 22. But the Ukraine war, in fact, put a huge dent on that because of the commodity super cycle. The Pakistan faced a very high inflation. And because of that high inflation, the interest rate in Pakistan shot up. And presently, I think it's at the highest level of 22%. The inflation went in 2023 to 37%, as high as 37%. And now I think it's declining, and it is expected that the inflation would be around 26%. So with this, I think there was a decline in GDP growth as well in financial year 2023. The interest rates, the victim of that high interest rate is the government itself, because government is the largest borrower. And about 85% of its tax revenues are spent on debt servicing. So that, I think, is a very, very big burden to Pakistan, and that's why we saw that there was a decline in value of Pakistan rupee. There was a decline in the foreign exchange reserves. And in fact, the investors, they tend to invest into foreign exchange currencies. They tend to invest in fixed income securities. And the businesses were very much under pressure. But since the beginning of financial year 24, you see things have stabilized. The Pakistan, in fact, has qualified the IMF SBA program, which would be of 9 months and $3 billion. And the value of the rupee, in fact, which was continuously declining, has now recovered in the current financial year by about 7% from its bottom. And similarly, the stock market, in fact, has seen a surge. And during these, the current 4 years, current financial years, 4 months, the market has increased by about 30%. And if we take the dollar terms return, it has given a return of 32% in dollar terms. The first IMF review is due in the current month, which is going on, and it is expected that the IMF will in fact meet all the targets which have been set up by IMF, which I think has created some positivity in the environment, business environment of Pakistan. You see, I believe that Pakistan is a viable country. Pakistan is a financially viable country, but I think it lacks good management. And because of the weak management, Pakistan facing such difficulties. So going forward, I see that if inflation goes down, and the biggest reason of inflation going down would be the base effects. Base effect market, the valuation of rupee is also stabilized. That will also contribute in reducing the inflation in Pakistan. And I'm hoping that this current financial year's average inflation rate would be around 21%. And it means that at the end of current financial year, the monthly inflation would come down to about 14-15%. And for the following years, the projection is that the inflation rate would come down to about 12 to 13%. That would in fact encourage the Monetary Policy Committee to reduce the interest rate in Pakistan. And if that would happen, that would in fact create the margin and cushion in the budget of Pakistan of an amount of over 3 trillion rupees. So presently the total FBR revenue is 9.4 trillion, and the fiscal deficit is about 7 trillion rupees. So this decline in interest rate would help in reducing the fiscal deficit in Pakistan. That would also bring down the cost of business in Pakistan because the interest rates would come down, because at these high interest rate, new investment is not very much viable. So the businesses which in fact have already taken the debt, they are feeling the pressure. But I believe that with the decline in interest rate, the businesses would then again be revived. Again, the consumer financing has also been affected because of high interest rate. With the interest rate decline, the consumer financing will also be revived, which will in fact create demand in the economy. The other factor which in fact government is working and they are talking and thinking is that the government owns about SOEs worth $63 billion. The assets of those SOEs are about $63 billion, which gives a yield of only 1%, whereas the government in fact borrows at the rate of over 20%. So they in fact losing an opportunity cost of 19 to 20% every year on this $63 billion, which is about equivalent to 19 trillion rupees. So it means if they are able to disinvest that SOE's assets, which the successive governments and the political parties have declared that they have the plan to disinvest and get out of the businesses and convert that into cash and reduce their debt. The third area which I think I feel there is a hope that there is a development expenditure budget every year of over 1 trillion rupees. And to me, I think that is vested. That is vested because all the parliamentarians, the political party members, they in fact misappropriate that amount. So the idea is, and this idea is under discussion, that in fact all the development work should be done in public-private partnership model. So where the private sector would be an investor, and once the private sector would be there, then I think the efficiency of those spending would also be achieved. So as I said that the Pakistan is a viable country, and if 2-3 these areas are addressed well, that would in fact help Pakistan for a better future. And because you see presently what is happening, we have interest rate of over 22%. We have the high energy cost in Pakistan as compared to other regional countries. And similarly, because the government was short of resources, they put additional taxes. So presently, the tax rate in Pakistan is also very high, because they have the corporate tax rate of about 29%, then super tax of 10%, then dividend distribution tax, presently including super tax is about 25%. So that goes as high as 24%. But I think IT industry is being a exporting industry. They in fact had to pay a turnover tax only, a small turnover tax. And IT industry, I believe, and I think Asif would speak more about that, and that I think would be a savior for Pakistan for addressing the balance of payment issue, and would also in fact address in addressing the job creation, job availability. So with that, then we'll speak more about.
Thank you for the valuable insights, and I'm so glad to hear optimism in the future. Asif, systems is at the forefront in IT in Pakistan, providing immense encouragement in the sector. Is IT thriving in Pakistan, and what can we do to improve the image and start branding Pakistan as a place for secure investment, especially in IT sector?
Great. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Arif. So as Arif said, I'm super excited, and I think first of all, Junaid and Open, thank you for arranging this. This is my first event, so I'm really excited to meet with a lot of friends and a lot of industry tycoons or players who have really created impact, and it is inspiration and aspiration for all of us. So thank you, Open. So I would say that I'm super, I think as Arif Saab just said, optimism. IT industry is the only industry in Pakistan who is not dependent on any government subsidy policies or anything that affects us. We are really thriving right now. From last 3 years, I would say, IT industry, post-COVID especially, I said Pakistan has created a lot of opportunity, a lot of buzz in global outsourcing and global innovation startup. So I would like to highlight 3 things that, since it's unleashing Pakistan, investment in Pakistan. So in IT industry, there are 3 key things that all of you need to think about, where if you want to invest, if you want to make a difference, you want to create an impact, create jobs. Number 1, the thriving IT services sector, which gives steady returns and ROI on your investment. So what does it mean? Like in this systems, we have done our IPO in 2015, and we have given investor return of 20x in last 9 years, 20 times. So what you can do while all these connected people in this industry who are making difference, how can you create this collaborative environment? There are a lot of companies in Pakistan who are waiting for M&A opportunities, some investment. It is open for you because you guys have connections. You guys can connect and open the doors for a lot of companies in Pakistan. Believe me, this will create jobs. This will create effects, which Arif Saab mentioned, improving the balance of payment for Pakistan. And it doesn't require a penny of like hardware imports and so forth, which a lot of export industry. Any industry in Pakistan where the local supply chain and the demand outside is going to thrive, and especially in the services sector should be where there's a youth bulge. We just need to focus and create and develop that. So second area is supply side. Of course, as you all know that Pakistan is a youth bulge. We have raw talent available, all like in scale, in a masses. If we don't take care of them today, it will be a huge problem. So what these you guys, individual levels, company level, what you can contribute is development of those people. We need mentors. As we just heard from our previous session, mentorship is key. Like, they need to learn because they don't have the exposure what we have the exposure. We can come and have the exposure and learn from what US market and so on and so forth. So a lot of training, like I can give you an example, what can create a true impact. You must have heard like from various forums, like Pakistan has hundreds of thousands of freelancers. Just imagine, just take a number of 100,000 freelancers. Even if your government says 500,000, I will discount that and just say 100,000 freelancers. Right now, their yield is $400 per month. It's documented. If we can create programs to upskill, reskill them, what's going to happen? We can easily, you guys work in this valley, like just imagine if their yield becomes to $1,000 to $1,500, $8 to $10 an hour, we are going to add $1 billion foreign exchange for these freelancers and we will change their lives. So it's little impact, little contribution of creating that kind of an ecosystem, opening vocational training programs. You guys can run the bootstrap. These are the call to actions. If we want to really create an impact in Pakistan, we have to train our youth. And it's not just, we were just hearing in the previous session, it's not just about IT development, it's the BPO sector as well, IT-enabled services, where you don't need computer science graduate. We have a lot of accountants, we have a lot of HR people, we have a lot of legal. So again, huge investment opportunity to thrive and revive Pakistan, young talent and youth bulge. And the third is a startup ecosystem, right? Just imagine, Pakistan has about 250 million people. So all these, we have so many use cases in the ecosystem. If we just solve our own problems through these startups, we can create a massive impact. So what these startup needs today from this community or from the investors like you or many others, that they need to have a mentorship that how the unit economics work, how to scale the idea, how to take this and solve the business problem like we just heard in the previous session, contextualize it and solve the business problem, create the use cases which change the landscape. And again, we have so much local people and local issues. If we solve it, it's going to be massive for the country and massive investment and FDI is going to be attracted. So Pakistan is immense opportunity for, if we just need to unleash, we just need to pick up any area of interest, whether you want to create the demand through your connections and build the steady IT services or outsourcing business, want to create the supply and build the talent, or you can create an innovation and entrepreneurship and a startup ecosystem. I think if we can focus on these three building blocks, I think Pakistan, we can increase our exports, bring FDI, and create the jobs in the country, which our country needs badly.
Thank you, thank you. So identifying problems and specific training for our people. I think those are some very important points. Arif bhai, so how can we attract more investment in Pakistan? And apart from IT, what sectors hold the most opportunities for investors in the capital markets of Pakistan?
You see, in Pakistan, there are two types of investment opportunities. One is for the professionals, investors, who in fact make investments out of their savings, and they in fact always see that where they would be able to get good returns and better returns when comparing to other jurisdictions. So there we have the opportunities in the capital market, both in debt and equities. And then we have the real estate market, where I think the opportunities in Pakistan lies. Traditionally, these two sectors have done well. Their rupee return has been excellent, but because of the recent devaluation, the returns have in fact been diluted. The third area is of strategic investment, and those strategic investment includes these investment in ITs, but in investment in other areas, small and medium sector, the large industries as well. Again, the large industries have generally flourished. And you see if you see the growth in the profitability of listed sector during this difficult and challenging time, there has been a profitability growth of, on the average, 25% per annum. So those have done well. The markets, in fact, secondary market have not done well, though all the assets in listed companies are dollar-based. But because of the negative sentiments, market, in fact, was not giving the right value. You see, we have made investment in expansions in large industries in last few years. The secondary market rate, in fact, is very, very low, but we are continuously getting offers from the buyers that if you want to sell, we can buy this company, the majority shares of that company, 5-6 times of the market value, which is being here. So in the recent period, the asset class of US dollars, gold, and fixed income securities have been the favorite because their high interest rates return were giving them certain returns. The continuous devaluation was also the responsible for investment in dollars and gold. But now, since the rupee is stabilizing and interest rates are expected to decline, so I believe for individual investors and even for corporates and institutional investors who are in fact looking at Pakistan, they can in fact immediately enter into a fixed income securities investment because they are still offering a return of 20% plus. So you can then make investment into those fixed income securities at that rate, and the medium of this RDA, Roshan Digital Account, is available. And from there, if you keep there and you then look for opportunities in equity investment and in real estate investment, and you can do that through the Roshan Digital account there, and those are repatriable. All those investments are repatriable immediately whenever you want. So for professional and for investors, I think that is the area. For large scale investors, for big investors and strategic investors, recently the government in fact identified and formed an SIFC. That SIFC in fact has shortlisted 4 areas. Number 1 is agriculture, number 2 is IT, and number 3 is mining, and number 4 is energy. So in agriculture, I think they have acquired about 1.4 million acres in Punjab and about 800,000 acres in Sindh, and they are in process of forming partnership. Our friendly countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, etc., they are very much interested. The local entrepreneurs, they are also taking interest, and they have put a minimum benchmark of 100 million rupees. So whoever in fact want to participate in that corporate farming agriculture in Pakistan, they can be part of it by contributing 100 million. Similarly, for IT, I think Asif would then be elaborate more on it, but for mining, Pakistan has a lot of mining potential. Already we were the part of this Barrick Gold solution, and we understand that, and there is a lot of potential there, and there a lot of interest is coming from foreign friendly countries there as well. China is also very much interested. We have been told that in IT. The energy sector is the biggest problem in Pakistan, and the policymakers, in fact, are trying to resolve it. The recent reforms, in fact, they have withdrawn all the subsidies. One of the reasons which we saw the high inflation was that all the subsidies in various sectors have been withdrawn on the advice of the IMF. So that, I think, would also give comfort in the future years. So initially in fixed income securities in Pakistan, since rupee, in fact, as value has been stabilized, and then go into equity and real estate.
Right.
And one thing which I'd like to say about because a lot of talk has been about the default risk of Pakistan. I would like to, in fact, share with you some data about the Pakistan's debt. The total debt of Pakistan is 74% of its GDP, and only 25% of GDP is in foreign currency. So that amounts to about $94 billion. So $94 billion is our total debt of Pakistan, and out of that, about 50% is of multilateral debt. So these World Bank, IMF, Asian Development Bank, etc. And about 20% is bilateral loans with our friendly countries, and about 8% Paris Club, and then 8%, again 6 to 8% is international bonds. So this is the situation, and if our IT export increases, we also, in fact, control our current account deficit, as they are doing for the last few months. Because the biggest factor which in fact has created debt, because out of this 94 billion, I was looking at the numbers, in the last 10 years, the current account deficit has been about $90 billion. So whole of this outstanding debt of Pakistan is mainly because of this current account deficit. If the policymakers and the government, they manage it efficiently, which they in fact put a slogan that their imports would be within their export and remittances. If that policy is continued, I think that issue would also be addressable.
Right. Thank you for that one person. I heard that applause. Thank you. Asif, how have you seen the tech industry in Pakistan evolve over the years, and what do you see as the next frontier for innovation?
Okay, thank you. Pakistan tech industry has been phenomenal, shown phenomenal growth in, I would say, last 5 to 7 years. We have immense talent and opportunity to export IT services, because I will give you 3 reasons again. Like, one, we have hunger in our, like, young entrepreneurs and individuals and the companies, they really want to do something and make an impact. Arif Saab said other industries, but I said, like, services industry is the backbone for anything. And since we have people, so services industry will become a backbone for our growth in the future, right? And we just need to do more of it, and it's a huge potential. So IT industry from export perspective is growing. We have shown 30% CAGR for the industry in the last 5 years. It's almost double in 3-4 years, last 3-4 years, and potential being immense to double again or triple again as we move along. If we follow the right things, right, as I said earlier in the first response, that how we can create more demand. And demand would be created if we have our economic narrative defined. Why Pakistan? Because we all are brand ambassadors of the country. We unfortunately don't believe too much and try to figure out, like, okay, there is an issue and this could be a potential problem and so forth. If we think it positively, I have been serving in this industry and doing export services since last 28 years. Believe me, no single day, Pakistan has ups and downs, you guys must be following news, there will be anything that is happening. We have never, ever missed an SLA from our customer. We provide 24/7 support services, BPO services. We have never missed an SLA because of Pakistan, condition or whatever. Yeah, you can miss an SLA because of yourself. But I think blaming that it's a country issue and so on and so forth, that's why we are not able to grow. I think it's not there. I think we all entrepreneurs need to take a leap of faith. When I talk about to my team, like, we need to grow 100% year on year, they said, what? But we have shown how to grow 100% year on year. We have done it last 2-3 years. So there are case studies available in Pakistan. What we need to do is portray those success stories. Being a brand ambassador, we should have an economic narrative of why Pakistan in each sector, what Arif Saab mentioned, IT of course, I'm telling, but why in mining, why in agriculture, what agriculture can do. And again, all of these sectors need the technology to improve the productivity. We can't as a country live on subsidy anymore. We don't have that. That luxury is gone. Only thing we need to focus on the productivity. How can we increase the productivity? And through increasing the productivity, we become competitive in the export market, because this world is competitive. You can't just focus on, okay, give me this subsidized power, give me this subsidy, and so on and so forth. This is gone. Once we agree as a country that this is gone, and we just need to be productive and do more with less, if we can figure out this, I think this is a huge opportunity. Again, quality, I think you can hear about it. It's not like Pakistan is cheap. We have cheap labor and so on and so forth. It's hunger, quality, SLAs, delivery, and at a price point, which I can assure you nobody can beat in the world. We have that kind of a cost-effective IT outsourcing destination. I'm not saying this. If you read World Economic Forum report on IT outsourcing, what World Economic Forum says, Pakistan is the most cost-effective IT outsourcing destination of the world. It's not like Asif Peer is saying, it's documented. You can say that, you can read A.T. Kearney report, you can read IDC report, you can read Gartner report. What, as Silicon Valley individuals, what my humble request, we need to invest more in marketing, branding Pakistan, having Gartners lobbying us, having McKinsey writing about us, having IDC writing about us, having Forbes writing about Pakistan thriving ecosystem economics and IT, especially IT and services, vibrant services sector. Once we do that collectively, imagine it's a huge opportunity. I think growth will never be a challenge for Pakistan. And what Arif Saab mentioned, we can move away from traditional industries to the knowledge economy. And that's what is in need right now, knowledge economy. And as we started with the theme AI, I think you must have, like, we just heard that AI is going to be replacing and we will be homeless. I think he was just joking, but point is, what AI is doing today for us, it's creating a huge opportunity for Pakistan and for all of us, for the world. Like, AI doesn't happen automatically. Like, you need a lot of data engineering capabilities. We heard just from Conrad, like unstructured data to contextualizing it and getting an insight. And Pakistan has a lot of maths and stats students and so on and so forth. So you don't need a computer science graduate to learn AI and things like that. If you have a good maths background, you can be an AI expert with certain training, because now the world has moved from to low code, no code, and this type of technology where we can really make a difference. Now what our customers tell us, how can you automate my process through AI? Because I have 10 years of data. Now you have Gen AI to predict what's going to happen and reduce my steps and automate my processes. We can do it. What is going to happen? Like, it's just a thinking change that if once we do that, I think the sky would be the limit. And I think that's what we are posturing, and we are trying our best to scale. I know in Pakistan, like as a systems, we have about 7,000 plus people. It's nothing at a global scale. I really want, with all of you, really want to make a difference to become a global brand. And once we become, like, ecosystem will be created, like if we can have 10 systems or something like that, or hundreds of them, then the ecosystem will be created. And we all need to work towards that. And again, our startup community is vibrant enough. They are solving so many problems. We have unbanked population of about 80 to 90%. So a lot of opportunities for fintech, a lot of opportunities for payment service provider. We are barely scratching a surface for e-commerce because the payment issues and so on and so forth. So as an innovator, you guys have an immense opportunity, even replicating the idea that worked in any third world country and bringing that idea to Pakistan will also create a massive scale. So my humble request is, like all of you, we all need to build economic narrative for Pakistan, and we just need to, we are not behind anyone. We have the capability, we have the communication skills. We are the fifth largest country in the world with the English-speaking population fluently in accent neutral. So how can we be more passionate about it and creating the difference and telling the world, we are open for the business, we are here to serve you, and we can provide a quality service at a cost-effective price.
Thank you. I am loving the optimism. I'm so glad to hear so much positivity for Pakistan. So this is a personal question. This is for both of you. But Arif bhai, I'll let you answer this. So I'm a budding entrepreneur, and there's so many out here. What advice would you give me before starting a business in Pakistan?
I see myself, in fact, I have been the beneficiary of starting my career in a very small way. And throughout my career, when I see the number of ventures we did, though at that, when we were in fact visualizing those projects, we didn't have that much of financial resources. But I think our strength being in the capital market was that we and our company had a very good knowledge base. So that knowledge, in fact, has helped us in fact, bringing the investors, in bringing the takers of investment as well. So we call them the investors and the issuers. So they, in fact, root through you, and that, in fact, benefits a lot. And in that process, we were able to identify the right projects, and we entered into those right projects. So my idea would be that the beginners, in fact, more concentrate in acquiring knowledge. So that knowledge will, in fact, will not, in fact, create any problem for you in raising capital, because there is a lot of capital, ideal capital is lying throughout the world and even in Pakistan, if you have good ideas. So that, I think, is the key for, in fact, progressing from that level.
Thank you. Asif bhai.
I would say three things. Think big, think new, and think quick. Right? These three things. And once you think big, you can dream, and you can try to disrupt and work on the problems. So, like, there is a problem and opportunities all around us. You just need to imagine what you're solving or what is the opportunity and how you can scale. And don't forget about the unit economics. But don't just think too much. Just, it has to be something fresh. And now the world needs to, as I said, like, we need to move on from the traditional stuff to the new stuff. So think big, think new, think quick. Once you do it, I think you will have something really big, and you can dream big and then execute on it. I think we all fail in execution. I think we know how, most of the things we know what to do, we know how to do it, but unfortunately we don't do it. It comes to an execution. If you are taskmaster, if you have attention to details, I think execution, you can create anything and make a huge difference in the world, right? And we all have potential as Pakistani, diaspora or Pakistanis. I think we have done it in the past. You can see a lot of success stories here and back home, and we can still make big things and do wonders to the world, which I'm positive we will, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Since we're short on time, I have received a question from the audience. And it says that there are many charter members of Open doing business in Pakistan. What strategies or approaches would you suggest for businesses to navigate economic uncertainties?
To me?
Yes, please.
You see that things were bad in financial year 2023, but as explained that for this current financial year and onward, I think things are looking positive. And the biggest risk at this moment of time in Pakistan is the political uncertainty, because already the Supreme Court, in fact, has announced the election date at 8th of February, and everybody, in fact, is talking about whether they will allow the level playing field to PTI, will allow the Imran Khan to participate on equal footing or not. And the businessmen, whenever they find the opportunity, they even they ask the power corridor, they should be with the people. Wherever the general public is, wherever the people are, they should be siding with that. They should not be siding the political parties individually. So that would, in fact, not bring any political stability in the country. So that, in fact, advice we have been given, and we have some signs that this sort of a thing is being discussed in power corridor, and there I think it's something, in fact, we are hoping that would come positive. But I think we have seen in the last 20 years, I've seen 4 types of government in Pakistan. You see, Pervez Musharraf was the first in early 2000 and 2000, and then came People's Party, then came Pakistan Muslim League, then came PTI. And we have the privilege of interacting every prime minister. They used to call us and they used to discuss many things with us. And the businesses have grown during that period in 4 regimes as well. There are political parties who are very good in implementation. We are very good in thinking. But generally, overall, their performance has been below par. So there is a need for improvement there. And I believe that Pakistan would see that positive change, and would see that our political leaders and would, in fact, learn to think about the nation, about the country. And if that happens, I think Pakistan will take off at a very faster pace, inshallah.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we're short on time. I'm really grateful for you that you took time out to speak to us and advise us and encourage us. Thank you very much, Arif Saab, Asif Bhai. Thank you. Thank you.